As creative individuals, our curiosity drives us to explore and experiment. And while mastering a single discipline in photography can sharpen our skills, it can also limit our creativity, leaving us to wonder what possibilities lie beyond our chosen genre. So if you're feeling a bit bored of your photography or searching for a new creative direction, this video is definitely gonna help you out. So if you're new here, my name's Ian and I predominantly shoot landscape and nature photography. Now lately I've had the urge to, sort of spread my wings a little bit and try something new, experiment a bit more. Now, I'm not saying that I'm tired of shooting landscapes, but I think every year by the end of the summer, I often feel a little bit deflated, a little bit drained. I think it's probably the 4 AM starts, the late sunsets and that harsh midday light, it can take its toll a bit. So if you're feeling a little bit uninspired or even bored with your photography, I've got a great challenge for you today that will boost your creativity and help you get back into the rhythm of creating amazing photos. So when I'm feeling like this, instead of taking a break, which actually can work quite well, I prefer to try something completely different. So today I'm leaving my trusty tripod in the car. I'm attaching the 35mm prime lens to my camera, and I'm going to shoot anything that catches my eye, things that I wouldn't usually gravitate towards. And I think I'll be looking for old, interesting subjects that might tell a story. Also, I'm not going to edit these photos aside from applying a quick import preset to my RAW files in Lightroom. By the way, if you don't own a prime lens, you can just tape off one of your focal lengths, so you're not tempted, if you like, to adjust it later on. Essentially, it's going to give you a similar effect to shooting with a prime. So I'm planning to visit an old disused quarry later on in the video, but I've got a couple of different places I want to stop off at on the way, which I think could make particularly interesting subjects. So I'm really looking forward to that, seeing what we can come up with. So let's get stuck into it. So I've just seen a really cool old car that I think I really want to shoot. It looks absolutely fantastic by this old derelict building. So I've pulled over. I'm going to grab a couple of shots of that. I don't think I'm going to be able to talk too much because I think I'm going to be shooting from the road, but I'll try and get a little bit of footage on the action camera here. But yeah, I think it looks like quite an interesting scene. I think it's something that I've been looking for. So yeah, first shot of the day, I think. Although this is a very different type of subject to what I usually shoot, I approached it in exactly the same way that I compose my landscape photos, focusing on shape, form, texture and light. And here's what I came up with. So I've just pulled over for a quick cup of tea. But I think another great way to get out of a creative rut, if you will, is by starting a photography project. Now, honestly, I think it's one of the best ways to learn and also grow as a photographer. Some of you might remember last year I did a 30-day landscape photography project with the goal of creating a zine at the end of it. And it really helped me to stay focused. I think creating something tangible definitely pushed me on and made me concentrate and put in more effort. So yeah, starting a project is without a doubt another fantastic way to kickstart your photography and really, just give you that little bit of a push that you might be needing to get out more with the camera. And obviously that's going to have so many other benefits, health, mental well-being and all of that good stuff. So you might be able to see here I've got the Fuji X-T3, probably one of my favourite cameras of all time. I absolutely love shooting with this camera. And on the front there, we've got the Viltrox 23mm f1.4 lens, which is about 35mm if you compare that to full frame terms. So yeah, I've got a subject that I've wanted to shoot for some time. I've passed it a few times, and it's this derelict farm cottage with a tree growing out the chimney. So I think that tells a story. I think it will make an interesting shot. So let's go and shoot it now. Such an amazing subject, this old farmhouse and the tree just coming out the top of the chimney. Absolutely brilliant. So much character. I'm really enjoying shooting this. It looks completely derelict. I might take a peek through the windows in just a second, see if there's anything inside that might be worth shooting. But yeah, what an absolutely brilliant subject. I've shot it from multiple different sides actually, just trying to get the best angle on it. But yeah, absolutely brilliant. Anyway, I think I'll spend a couple more minutes here, see if we can get a couple more shots, and then we'll make our way to the quarry. On my way to the quarry, I found a couple of subjects that I really like. I love the sign on this old caravan, and I thought the colours in the second photo worked really well with the classic feel of my preset. So we've finally made it to the quarry and the temperature's dropped just a little bit, hence the sun hat's off and the beanie's on. But I've got no idea what to expect here. I really don't. I know there's some old disused mine shafts and a few old buildings. And I know a lot of the buildings, the surrounding area, probably had slate roofs mined from this particular quarry here. So it'll be very interesting to see what we find. I really enjoyed shooting those subjects earlier. Loved the car, I thought was amazing. And obviously the house with the tree growing out the top of it as well. But I've got a few more points I want to talk about in just a second, about prime lenses and projects and ways to keep us creative as photographers. So yeah, let's see if we can find something. I can see some buildings, some old disused buildings in the distance, so I'm going to go and check those out. So there looks to be some kind of structure just here. I can just see a bit of stonework on the end there. So I'm going to explore underneath this tree just here to see what I can find. So this particular area looks very interesting. I'm not really sure what's kind of happened here, but obviously there's an old stone building here and these pine trees have just grown around them, which is pretty cool. Building's fallen down. But we've got an old, I think it's a fridge or some kind of freezer unit down here. For some reason it's been discarded and left there. There's some old beer cans in it, I'm not sure. Maybe somebody's been down here camping or something, I don't know, in the past and left it there. But it's quite an intriguing spot. So I'm going to try and take a shot here with the pine tree, the old building, the window, with the branches growing through it and this old fridge, which we'll never know why it was left here. But yeah, pretty interesting this one. So one of the issues with obviously using a prime lens is sometimes you want to go back a bit further than you can. And it's a bit of a tricky one, isn't it? You've got branches and stuff, but I think we're just about right actually with the 35 here. So yeah, I love the light spilling through. That's really interesting. I'm just going to expose it for the highlights. I'm going to focus on that old freezer and just let that light spill through the window. And it's just catching the tree and some of my foreground. I'm just waiting for the light to be diffused a little bit. Right now is perfect. I'm just going to take the shot. So that was quite an interesting find, wasn't it? And if I spin you around, I'll just show you where it was. You can just see that big pine tree there. That's the trunk that we were photographing, so it's right amongst that. So had I not gone through those branches, I would have never have found it, because you can't see it from up here. So quite interesting. And also, if you're wondering why I've got the tripod on my backpack, that's to do some of the video work. But I want to talk about prime lenses next, and why they can be so effective for creativity. So why shoot with a fixed prime lens? Well, I think it ties back to the idea of doing something different. You know, I usually shoot mainly zooms, so shooting primes makes sense. But by limiting what you can shoot, it kind of forces you to approach things in different ways with, I guess, a new sense of inspiration. And it's definitely working for me today. You know, I'm experimenting with different subjects that I don't normally shoot, and I'm approaching them with a different mindset as well because of that fixed focal length. So I guess it's kind of opposite to what I usually do, and that is so inspirational. Now, say if you usually shoot with a prime lens, why not grab a zoom lens and maybe go out for the day and maybe shoot, say, a different focal length for every single subject that you shoot. I think it's this doing something different approach that is really, really inspiring and can set you down a path you may not know even existed. Yeah, I've thoroughly enjoyed it. And these are just beautiful, so I might try and make an abstract shot with these little creepy things in this stonework here. So I quite like that last little shot with these ferns. I think it was quite interesting, but I want to go back to the topic of projects and how do you actually find one to get started. So as I mentioned earlier, my 30-day project was primarily time-based, and I think having a daily schedule really helped me to stay committed. However, there's tons of other project ideas that you could explore if you want to get creative with your photography. For example, you might want to focus on a specific focal length. It could be subject matter, colour, time of day. Black and white projects are also really, really good. There's tons to explore. Actually, if you know of any, please do, comment below, share your inspiration. Maybe that'll inspire somebody else to go out and start a project themselves. I've definitely got that itch. I think I want to start a project pretty soon as well, so who knows what will happen. If you enjoyed this video, even though it was a little bit different to my usual content, please let me know in the comments. Yeah, if you liked it, maybe I'll do some more content like this where we're out and about exploring kind of weird things in the landscape. Who knows where it will go. Anyway, the link up here will take you to another video which you might like, and the one up here will take you to my ebook on landscape photography composition. Anyway, until next week, take care.